Anyone can be a victim of hate. Anyone can be a perpetrator of hate. 9/11 is a good example, you know. We saw a high incident of activity against people who were Middle Eastern or who were perceived to be Middle Eastern. If they had dark skin, a lot of Latinos got victimized because there was some individual out there who thought that they were Middle Eastern. For about 6 years, I coordinated the Hate Crime Victim Assistance and Advocacy Initiative out of our office, and that in turn was the gathering of community groups to help us outreach into various and specific communities to teach those communities about hate.
We need to put the guns down. Just as importantly, we need to put the gun metaphors away and permanently.
The feeling of the unknown, who are these new people? You know, we build our walls and we sometimes lash out negatively. On the political front, they have utilized certain issues as wedge issues, issues to build a campaign over. And it seems like over time that we find that they're using immigration as that wedge issue.
They launched a vicious attack on an Ecuadorian immigrant, and witnesses and police say the assailants began shouting anti-gay and anti-Hispanic slurs, then beat him with a baseball bat.
When they target the Latino community, probably the first images in their mind, and it's probably someone coming from south of the border, and the person is going to probably just assume that if they have brown skin, that they're probably from Mexico versus some other part of the country.
The police are calling it a hate crime. The youngest suspect is 16, the rest 17 years old. All 7 allegedly took part in the beating and fatal stabbing of an Ecuadorian immigrant over the weekend.
One of the things that we highlighted in a more recent hate crime report, we saw kind of an uptick in people destroying signage, you know, proclaiming their support for a particular political candidate. And that's something we really didn't see before, but why did we see it this time around?
You're not the enemy. The enemy are terrorists. The enemy are people who want to change my way of life, and some of them may be your gardeners.
Their justification in victimizing a particular group of people can be brought forth because of what they heard on television or what they read in the newspaper.
We were alerted that the front door of our office, which is a glass panel door, had been either kicked out, shot out, or just basically destroyed.
Are you afraid? Are you fearful today?
You know, I'm not.
My daughter's experience with this, she spent quite a few years working for the Red Cross. So she was set up in a school auditorium where people who were victimized by this tornado would come in and talk a little bit about what they lost. She was waiting for the next group family, and the individual told her that I would prefer being helped by a white person.
Protesters massed outside the Capitol, while Republican members of Congress stood on the balcony and riled up the crowd, waving the yellow flag with the coiled rattlesnake.
Their prejudices and sometimes get in the way of them actually having an opportunity to be helped.
We are losing our country. We think the Muslims are moving in and taking over.
If you're victimized because of the color of your skin or some other thing that makes you who you are, that's a pain that's going to stick with you, and you're going to carry it for a very, very long time.
One thing that we have learned from this great tragedy is we have come together. On Saturday, we all became Tucsonans. On Saturday, we all became Arizonans, and above all, we all became Americans.
It's really important that there are people out there who can help process that pain, and thank goodness that there are a lot of people out there. We're not going to be able to rely on someone else to solve the issues in our neighborhoods. We have to take ownership of it.